The Woodward Sports Network presents a sports show that's more than just sports. Welcome to The Bottom Line with U of M great and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermanni. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go. Monday, February 28, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, The Bottom Line. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
You feel that passion? You see that energy in the room? It's almost like somebody had a vacation or something, man. Coming back with the heat.
Feeling good today, Braylon. I'll tell you, being away is great for the mental aspect of it. We talk about mental health all the time. You got to plan something. Take some time off. Take some time away. But, boy, was I ready to come back today and be with my good friends, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, Alex, Sam, my goodness.
Well, we definitely missed you. Stick did a great job of holding us down while you were gone. Adam Beydoun, Nick Leach talked about some hard stuff. I guess we were right about that. Everybody did a good job, man, but this place doesn't work without you, man. So glad to have you back. And actually, February 28th, I want to say happy birthday to my best friend, Jeets, my man. Happy birthday to you. You know Jeff.
Absolutely, Jeff.
Guns
happy
N' Roses,
birthday.
Guns N' Roses concert.
Boy, we did it right at that Guns N' Roses. We did get after it.
Yeah,
love Jeff. Happy birthday to you, my friend. And back from a birthday weekend in Jersey. Tom Mazawey, baby.
That was fun, man. What a great weekend. Welcome back, Ryan. We missed you, no doubt about it, man. No doubt about it.
Talk to me about what a birthday weekend in Jersey looks like. For you.
My brother-in-law picked me up from the airport Friday night.
The real Jersey Mike.
The real Jersey Mike, that's right. Went right out for pizza. Had pizza at Lombardi's.
With only cheese.
Cheese only.
Yep.
Good pie action.
Then Saturday,
good pie.
Woke up. What did we do on Saturday? Chilled out. Went for more pizza. Went to my hometown in North Bergen. Went to North Bergen. Had pizza. Met friends that just walked into the pizza joint. It was great. And then at night, went to the Meadowlands with my family. Celebrated my birthday. They put my name on the big screen.
Got to go to the track.
Got to go to the track. And then yesterday, all my nieces, nephews, and my friends, they threw me a great party, a great bash, great dinner last night. Man, I got a great family. That's all I got to say.
That's just fantastic.
Great family.
Great to have you in the house today as well. Braylon, big show for you, for everybody today. This is, if I may just have a shameless plug.
Go ahead, buddy.
We need 6,000 views on YouTube today to cross 100,000 views for the 2-hour show.
Let's do it.
On YouTube for the month of February. So if you are by a friend, tell a friend to log on to youtube.com. Look for Woodward Sports The Bottom Line. 6,000 views needed for 100,000 views this month on YouTube. And if you can hit that like button, smash that like button today.
Smash it.
If you would. Big show for you today,
Braylon. Going on, man.
Absolutely. Somebody that you know very well going to be on the show today.
Mike Tannenbaum. Mike Tannenbaum, former NFL GM. He was the GM of the New York Jets when I was there. Just a guy that kind of knows how to handle talent, knows what to do with it, knows when to draft players, when not to draft players, when to use free agency. He's been a savant on ESPN as it relates to the last couple of years doing that. So it's going to be fun to pick his brain. I know Tom wants to come in with some questions about free agency for the Lions as well as the draft. You're fresh out the gate and back. You're a guy that likes Mike Tannenbaum as well.
I love Mike Tannenbaum. Yeah. I think this guy is as sharp as anybody going right now. We love our guy, Dan Orlovsky. I love Louis Riddick, but Mike Tannenbaum is right up there with the best in the game right now. When you talk about guys that have the ability to give us a sense, an inside look at what's happening organizationally with these NFL teams with a very important offseason happening.
It's always interesting to find out who's really good when they get on camera, who's really good to able to explain their role. Like you look at when Trent Dilfer, average football player, but when he was on ESPN, and I know he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. He knew his stuff. He knew his stuff well. You look at Mike Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum had some success with the Jets, didn't have success with the Dolphins, but when he's on air and explaining it, same thing with Mangini. Eric Mangini is a guy that he didn't have success as a coach, but man, I don't know if there's too many people sharper than him in terms of knowing the whole game. He learned from Belichick, so one of those guys is Mike Tannenbaum.
So many different angles I want to hit with Tannenbaum as well, because we are on the heels of the NFL Combine, which to many of us football junkies, I mean, this is life, right? I mean, maybe it's not life, but we don't have very many.
It starts the draft year.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're here in Detroit, you want to look for we got to pick this guy in the fourth round or fifth round or whatever the case may be. And these are the names that jump out at you. And again, this year it's prime time.
You know what also, and Mads, you can jump in on this one. I think it kind of endears you to the players. Like, I think it kind of gives you a sense that I'm picking for real. Like, I'm a part of the team. Like, it makes you feel a part of the Detroit Lions journey or whatever your hometown is. You're like, all right, cool. Starting day 1, March 3rd, I'm watching. Oh, I like this guy. This could be a good pick for them. And then if they draft somebody that you like, I know this guy. I like this guy. I said that they should draft this guy. So I think it makes you feel a part of the process.
It started early for us Lion fans with the Senior Bowl. We got to see the kids at the Senior Bowl. The Lions, of course, coach the American Conference team, and now you get the Combine in Indianapolis. It's there's a team that's not going to be there though.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Not coming to the Combine?
The LA Rams, the world champion LA Rams, are not going to the Combine. I do think that's a little bit of a malfeasance, a little bit, right? I mean, I know you don't have a first round, you don't have a second round, you don't have a third round. You have a late fourth round, a compensatory pick because of the Lions hiring of Brad Holmes. But don't you have to do your due diligence to, hey, maybe there's an opportunity, you like a player, you jump in. You jump in to the draft. You jump back into the draft. I don't know. You still have to pick in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. Don't you want to know about the guys that you're picking?
So this is, for me, this is all speculation because this has never been done before. This is the first time ever. So I'm trying to kind of find their motivation in making a decision like this. It's tough. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm processing it, but I think for them, like the nuts and bolts of what they do is free agency. It's wiggling around. It's maneuvering around, kind of picking up players here and there. They're like, what is the purpose of going? Like at the end of the day, we have our draft board. This is our draft board. These are the guys that are going to be the best. These are the guys that how we have them ranked. I think the way they look at it, hey, you know what? When we get to that spot, we'll have a need at that spot. We'll also have, who's our ranking on the board. If our guy is there or whatever our board says, we'll just draft that way. Everything else, like he said, Snead said, F them picks. I mean, that's the shirt that he wore at the championship parade. So I think they're doubling down on that, F those picks. And, you make a board for a reason. And I think they're really going to honor it. Like, if whoever's there at that board, we'll take that player at that pick.
They get a compensatory pick in the 3rd round.
From the Broncos and the Lions.
From us, because we signed Brad Holmes.
Yeah.
I don't know what the reason is behind not showing up to the draft, but it is what it is. Guys, also trending today, how about this? News broke just in the last hour that the city of Detroit is a finalist for the 2024 NFL Draft. This from a Green Bay reporter. Mark Murphy says Green Bay is one of 3 finalists to host the 2024 Draft. It's between Green Bay, Detroit, and Washington, D.C. They expect to hear something soon as well. League meetings at the end of March by the latest. We'll know whether or not Detroit has earned a bid.
I remember when they first started doing these things, man. Like, they bring attention to the city, good stuff with the music right there. Like, it's kind of, it brings more attention to the city. Cleveland just had one. Cleveland had guys there, and it was pretty, like you said, it was pretty good. They had a couple celebrities come out. They had a couple former Cleveland Browns come out, and it's fun. It adds excitement. It adds entertainment value. It's something to do, and it's another way to give the city of Detroit or cities like that, like Green Bay. Who the hell is thinking about Green Bay? It's going to be between Detroit and Washington.
I'm telling you. You put the city of Detroit on draft watch.
Yeah,
it is going to be, I don't want to say unlike anything you've ever seen, because that scene in Las Vegas was incredible. Philadelphia was incredible. No matter where you take this, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But because this place, it has turned into our Super Bowl a little bit, I think it would be nothing short of spectacular. We'll try to get more information about that as we learn more about the possibilities. But my goodness, how great would that be?
New York did a pretty good job, too.
New York did a great job as well. I mean, anybody, no matter where you go, it's going to be awesome, right?
58 days to the draft in Vegas coming up.
There you go.
I think it's cool, too, that you're talking about the 24th. I think by then, you look at when it is. The draft's in April, so it'll be warmer. You won't have a situation where it's 10 degrees or 20 degrees or anything like that into February. And also, I think we get further removed from COVID-19 and safety protocols and restrictions. By then, April of 2024, it's opened up. I think it's opened up all the way, and it's a great time to have an event like that in Detroit.
Also today, breaking news, Derek Jeter has stepped down as a owner of the Miami Marlins. Really surprising move today. Sold his shares with the team. He just said, I'm out.
I don't know if it's surprising more so than it is. What's surprising is we haven't heard anything from Derek Jeter since he took the job.
Right.
Like, we haven't heard anything about the Marlins except for they're bad. And they did end their playoff drought a couple years ago for the first time in 17 years. But outside of that, they've been bad. I think they're the fourth worst team in the last 5 years or 6 years since he's been there. Plus, they just seem like a shady organization. Yeah. You remember what they did with the stadium and the people of Miami. Looks like Jeter's like, you know what? This is not a good thing to be tied to. Like,
he's too classy.
I was just about to say, my name represents class and a certain type of look, and this ain't it. I'm going to go ahead and deuce out.
So steps down as the CEO and shareholder of the Miami Marlins. Also, I know you both are really excited for this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy. March 4th.
The Batman.
The Batman. Supposed to be the best of the bunch.
So Jeff, whose favorite is Batman. Jeff loves Batman. He's a Christian Bale guy and Ben Affleck. He kind of stuck in his mind. We didn't think that this was going to be good when we first heard about it. It's like, Robert Pattinson.
I was going to say, the dude from
Twilight.
Yeah.
Twilight, and he was in Harry Potter back when in the first couple. But it's like, I don't know. But then they start slowly but surely releasing some trailers and releasing footage. And then I saw enough and started watching the footages about 2 months ago. I think it's going to be legit. They're covering a different aspect. It's a more rugged. It's a more a little dark. It's kind of like how Heath Ledger portrayed the Joker. It's kind of like that.
It's supposed to be like a murder mystery.
Exactly.
And Halle Berry, isn't she Catwoman?
No, I hope they don't go back to that.
Is Burgess Meredith the Penguin?
No.
Exactly.
I forgot who Catwoman is. I just threw Halle Berry out there.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it was.
They need to forget that Catwoman ever existed. I love Halle, but my God, that was awful.
It would certainly be nice if we could get a little Halle Berry. Guys,
Berry.
Thanks so much watching on YouTube. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. 20.5 thousand subscribers. Are you kidding me on YouTube?
Rolling.
To the moon. Woodward Sports Network. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, a mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Man, my boy Ryan Ermanni is back in the building, so time to pour up the Gypsy. No, I'm just joking. It's only a Monday, but Gypsy is the vodka that you should be drinking if you are a vodka enthusiast. Gluten-free, Michigan's own. Adam and Mike got it right. 40 formulas went into it, but on the 50 formulas, Bill Lambier, can't get that number messed up. 50 formulas, and here we are with the 50th. It is the best. It is pure. That's because it's infused with artesian. It's corn distilled 6 times using artesian spring water. The stuff is pure, sexy, and smooth. Go down to your local liquor store and ask for Gypsy Vodka. It is there for you. Drink it, but when you do, please drink responsibly.
Always drink responsibly, and we appreciate you guys tuning in on a Monday afternoon or whenever you are watching.
Correction. Zoe Kravitz will be playing Catwoman, daughter of Lisa Bonet.
Younger version of Halle Berry.
Yeah, she's actually a younger version of her mother. They look just alike. I think her and Aquaman are breaking up, but this isn't the gossip show.
They're giving it another try.
Oh, they're going to give it another try?
try.
I knew Maz would know. Okay, they're giving it another try.
Yep, that's Jason Momoa.
Can I just make quick mention of the weather we've been having, too? I mean, it's been beautiful.
What do you mean, we?
Well, I
haven't been here.
Well, I got back a couple of days ago, and I brought the sunshine with me.
Okay, there you go.
It was great. I do hate it when people say, "Oh, bring the weather back with you."
You did, though.
Why do you hate
I got to tell you, I did.
Why do you hate it?
I don't know.
What
What am I going to do?
We're trying to latch on.
What am I going to do?
Nothing.
You think I'm going to
Sam
bring, I have the ability to bring the weather with me?
Not a thing.
Positivity is that spirit of positivity. You bring the energy.
Speaking of the spirit of positivity, Braylon Edwards, I do want to mention the Detroit Lions, if I could, because they have been getting very high marks for their previous draft.
Yep.
NFL.com has given the Lions 2021 draft class an A- grade. And I like this because this is actually a draft grade, Braylon, after we've seen the players play.
Exactly.
Not in the immediate 24 hours after the draft. You have actually seen a full season, essentially, of draft picks play. That's a very high mark for Brad Holmes' first draft as general manager of the Detroit Lions. I think that's something to be excited about.
Especially, it's an extremely high mark thinking that they only won 3 games.
Yeah, no doubt.
When you think about it that way, you're like, wow, like they have an A- grade and they won 3 games. But when you watch the players that they're talking about, the guys that scored well for them, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, you look at those guys, they played extremely well, and they got better, and they got better, and they got better, and they got better. And they made the team. Like, they helped the team out. They became the leaders on this team. So you look at Brad Holmes at a snapshot. We've had one draft. He's had success. He's had success in that A-. That's really, really, really warming, knowing you're coming to a situation. You got that number 2, you got 32 and 34. His track record so far looks good.
That's all well and good, man, but this is it.
Yeah, this is it.
This is the draft.
Yeah.
2 first-round picks. I know you got a late one, but then you got an early second-round pick. So 3 of the top 34 are the Lions picks. And I'm really hoping that they can move out of that 2 hole still. Because I'm just not sold on anyone in that top 3 right now. You got Kyle Hamilton moving up the board. You got all kinds of names going on. I just don't know, man. I wouldn't mind picking up another pick.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Maz, because obviously Kyle Hamilton's name, the safety from Notre Dame, is getting a lot of talk right now, and rightfully so. But what did we say after the season ended? You are going to have months now of talking yourself into picks and talking yourself out of picks. I have talked myself into Aiden Hutchinson, Kyle Hamilton, trading out, drafting Malik Willis. I have talked myself into those 4 possibilities and everything else, by the way. I think the only thing I haven't talked myself into is taking an offensive tackle at number 2.
Yeah, that's one thing we
I really think that's what I've done.
I think with Penei Sewell, Ragnow, and Taylor Decker, we're pretty straight in that department. But no, you're right, though. You have that plenty of time, especially those teams that necessarily don't make it to bowl games or they play the bowl game early on in the year, guys that opt out of playing in their bowl game, so you haven't seen them in a long time. Let's take Kayvon Thibodeau for a second. Kayvon Thibodeau is a guy that didn't necessarily have the sacks people wanted to see him have last year as a number 1 pick. He went into the season number 1 pick overall in the draft in the mocks, and now he slid down to as much as 8th. That's because you haven't seen him. He didn't have the season that you thought he might have wanted to see out of him. How hard was he actually playing this year?
Exactly.
But once again, and that's one of Maz's big deals. Is this a guy that I can depend on? Which is a very good question. But now here's the combine. Now here's where guys are going to be back on display. Now you'll see where guys can run and jump and lateral and side to side and talk to coaches and break down defense or break down offense. And then you have pro days for guys that don't operate. So you'll get a chance to go right back up that draft board. Like I remember, I didn't do anything at the combine. So last thing they had on me was the Rose Bowl. We played against Texas. 3 touchdowns, saw that. Didn't do anything at the combine. So now all of a sudden it's
was that on purpose?
That I didn't do my agent told me, he was like, yeah, don't do it. So, but then you see on the mock drafts, I start going from 3 to 5 to 7 to the Vikings, or maybe slip down to 10 to the Lions, which I thought was crazy. But that's because I hadn't done anything. They hadn't seen me in a while. And then out of sight, out of mind, and they're not coming out. But then when I do pro day, it's like, no. He's 3rd overall. So you just got to wait sometimes, and we will see what these guys can do.
Where did Dad want you to go?
Dad just wanted me to be happy for the most part, but probably selfishly, there's probably a couple places that he would have preferred, like the Lions, he and Matt Millen were cool, so they talked a lot. So, I mean, that was
picking Nakobe Dean with mystery pick number 17 or whatever. I mean, it's just there's so much going on over the next week.
Jordan Davis.
Pick Jordan Davis with 32. You know what I mean? He's going to ball with 32. You're going to see all these mock drafts, right? But again, for me, this is one of those times where Brad Holmes, he has bought himself a little bit of equity with last year's draft. Regardless of what he does with that number 2 pick, regardless of who blows up this week at the Combine,
right.
I really am, and I understand if Lions fans aren't here yet, but I really am under the presumption of, you know what, I think Brad Holmes has bought himself enough equity right now, or earned enough equity where I'm going to be okay with whatever he does with this pick at 2.
Yeah, it'd be one of those situations. I'll give you an example. The equity that he's bought himself, if he would have been in the draft, if he would have been the GM instead of Quinn in 2017 when he drafted Gerard Davis, had this been a situation like that, would we have the faith and we have the belief and we also have the proof of how Brad Holmes can draft based on last year, I would have sat back and said, even if he was drafted Jared Davis over Dalvin Cook, which I thought actually was dumb, like it was one of the dumbest moves I've seen, I would have given that a pass and said, you know what? I would have drafted Dalvin Cook, but maybe you see something that I don't see, Brad, because of what you've done in 2021. I would have given him that. That's where he's at with me. That's the equity that I would give him, agreeing to what you're saying. Like, hey, man, you know what? I don't know about that move, but because I seen you did it and you have a track record to prove it, I'll give you this and we'll see how it plays out.
What's your gut tell you right now, Braylon, on the eve of the Combine? What's your gut tell you right now?
Aiden Hutchinson?
Yeah, me too.
Aiden Hutchinson. I just don't think you can get from around it. Like, this is one of those interesting drafts. I think that's why it's also so interesting and so... Of course, interesting makes interesting, but because there is no number 1 overall. Like I even think, you know, we're forcing Jacksonville to draft Evan Neal. Evan Neal's not even the best lineman in the draft.
Right.
Like he's not even the best lineman in the draft. He just happens to be a left tackle that played at Alabama. It's this type of draft. I think with Aiden Hutchinson, and even Aiden Hutchinson, you can argue against. Well, he only did it for 1 year. What I saw enough out of him, he's a player. He comes to play. He brings his hard hat. He brings his lunch pail. He can get to the quarterback. He plays rush. He plays off the ball. He plays the pass game. He plays the running game. At the end of the day, like, he checks enough boxes to where I feel safe with that pick. And it sucks that you have to feel safe, but I think that's the safest pick that you can make. Because even Kyle Hamilton, he wasn't nowhere to be found 2 years ago. So, I mean, it's...
And there's something to be said for getting after the quarterback in the NFL, right? I mean, if you look at the playoffs this season, I mean, you look at what happened to Tom Brady when he had a little bit of pressure in his face. You see what happened to Ryan Tannehill when he had a little bit of pressure in his face. I mean, you just see up and down. Kyler Murray, who we'll talk about next. You saw what happened when Aaron Donald was in his face. Von Miller was in his face. I mean, that is something that the Detroit Lions have an absolute need for, a desire for. There's a guy that you've had the ability to scout locally here for
the whole season, the last 365 days.
I mean, you know everything about him. I do think when it's all said and done, they'll pick Aiden Hutchinson.
You got to look at the trenches. The trenches is where you want to shore up. You look at what happened to Michigan. What was the difference in Michigan this year? It was the trenches. They were good defensively. They were good offensively. They were good to the tune of the number 1 offensive line, and they were good to the tune of the best defensive player offensive line. When you watch this, man, like you're already shoring up your offensive line. You got Ragnar. You got Taylor Decker. You have Penei Sewell. We've talked about that. Now you got to go get a guy that can get to the quarterback. You got to get a guy that can get 15 sacks, 14 sacks, 14 and a half, 17 sacks. Because when you look at the playoffs, you know, you see the Rams. I see Aaron Donald and Von Miller and Leonard Floyd. You see the Bengals. I see Hendrickson. Hendrickson had 15 sacks last year and he was a Pro Bowl player for the Cincinnati Bengals. You name team, I see guys getting to the quarterback. That's what the Lions don't have. They got to get a guy that can get to the quarterback, and that guy is probably Aiden Hutchinson.
Mike Tannenbaum, former general manager of the New York Jets, Braylon's old GM for the Jets and the Miami Dolphins. He is currently an ESPN NFL insider. He will join us about 1 hour from now, so we're really excited to talk to him about all things NFL, including the situation earlier today with Kyler Murray, the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. We'll let you know what that is. Very bizarre situation from his agent. We'll get Braylon's take on that and much more. It is Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, Bottom Line.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag. Where are you going to put your sports wagering in? I highly recommend you lock in and get MyBookie.ag and use that promo code Woodward. If you're a first-timer on the site, use Woodward, and you will double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. You got the makeup game tomorrow night from Chrysler. It's Michigan and Michigan State. Both teams fighting for their lives, trying to get into the big dance. MSU, of course, they got the upper hand. See if Michigan can come back after that loss to Illinois. And how about Illinois? How about Michigan State over the weekend beating Purdue? You could have been a winner if you got on MyBookie.ag. Use that promo code Woodward for free money. Double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. If you have a gambling problem, please call the Michigan Gambling Problem Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Monday show, February 28th. Man, this month has flown by. We are on the precipice of March, and you know what March brings.
Basketball, baby.
March Madness,
yes, sir.
Little college hoops.
Baseball.
Well, I was going to get there, Maz. Spring training baseball.
Baseball, please.
And you've got, let's just go there. Bob Nightingale, our guy here, says it's not looking good.
It's not looking good today. Very contentious meeting between the players and the owners today. It is not looking like they will settle by today. That means spring training games start to get canceled, and that's not good for anybody in Florida especially, and of course in Arizona as well. And that means some of the games are going to get knocked off, maybe even a regular season, which I don't mind, but I'm sure the players will because they're not going to get paid.
You know what is funny? I was just in Florida, obviously, and
don't rub it in.
Well, part of being in Florida in February is spring training, and there was none of that down there this year. It was almost like, I don't want to say eerie, but there was a little bit of sadness there.
I talked to Dan Dickerson today. He's down there covering the minor leagues. That's all you can cover because you can't. He's not allowed. No baseball people who call the games.
If you work for the teams,
are allowed to talk about the players. So he went down to cover the minor leagues. He's heading back on Wednesday. He said it's like a ghost town.
It's funny you brought that up. When Stick was here on this past Friday, he talked to Nightingale, and Bob was talking about Lakeland, Florida. You were talking about the money that they're losing, the revenue shares that they're losing from nothing going on at the time. In a lot of towns that have these minor league teams or have these spring training sites, they depend on that revenue. So it's crushing a lot of these smaller cities around America.
It is pretty sad what's happening in baseball. We'll get back to that in just a little bit. Get you any news if it becomes available within the time frame that we are live on the air here. And if you are watching on YouTube, we certainly appreciate it. Smash that like button for us.
Smash it.
It helps YouTube kind of push our content out and be available to more people. We need 6,000 views on YouTube today, which is well within our daily reach.
We can grab that.
To reach 100,000 for the month of February, and pretty darn good.
Consider it's only 28 days.
28 days, and typically a slower month in the world of sports, February as well. So we certainly appreciate that. Guys, Kyler Murray's agent released a statement today. Now, we have seen Kyler Murray do some really off things this offseason, like scrubbing his social media completely of anything that has to do with the Arizona Cardinals or his teammates or anything like that. He has since put that back on, but his agent released a statement today, Eric Burkhart, and it's a pretty lengthy statement, I would say, in weird font and small writing, so I'm not going to read the entire thing to you. I think it'd be boring. But
the paraphrase it.
The paraphrasing is Kyler Murray wants to be with Arizona. He is committed to Arizona if Arizona is committed to him. And he wants a new contract. He believes he has played at the level of some of the highest level quarterbacks in the game that are getting paid. The Arizona Cardinals have increased by 3 wins in each of his seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. He's 24, his third year in the league. Third or fourth year in the league?
This will be his fourth year coming up.
Fourth year coming up. And they were a DeAndre Hopkins injury away from winning the AFC West this year. I would contend that. But nonetheless, he wants to get paid. And he's got 2 years left on his contract, wants to rip that up and get paid by the Arizona Cardinals. I have no problem with him wanting to get paid.
Right.
I have totally kind of, as I get older, in my
more for the players.
Yeah, as I get older and my business sense kicks in a little bit.
Yeah.
I believe these guys got to get paid when they can get paid.
Right. I agree.
And that's where I'll leave it. But Braylon, as you pointed out, and I'll let you make the point, it's not what you say, it's
how you say it.
How you say it.
And first of all, you mentioned, it's funny that you mentioned release in the same sentence that you mentioned, Burkhardt and Kyler Murray, because I think that's exactly what he should do. He should release his agent. This was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like, first of all, you choose a font because you knew. Oh, side note, I love this new thing now on Twitter. It's I ain't reading all that. I'm happy for you though, or sorry that happened. Like, that's now the new response when you see something very long. Maybe he put in that font because he didn't want people to read it. He wanted people to skim it and think he was here for Kyler. But the people that actually did pay attention, the people that actually did read it, were like, so your basis for wanting to get more money is why I think Kyler has lived up to his contract, and if he knows he has to grow up, but he'll support the organization if the organization supports him. Like, duh. Like, that's what you do when you get drafted. You support him. You support the player. You support the organization. Eric Burkhardt, I don't get where you're coming from. But then you talk about, all right, well, he's outplayed himself or his contract, and he deserves more money. Has he? Let's take a look at these stats that are so glaring that he should get all this money. First year, 3,700, 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Next year, 3,900, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Next year, which is this past year, 3,700, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Sounds about the same for the par for me. Sounds like the same as his rookie year for me. Yep. I know he missed 3 games last year, but so what? We saw what he played, what he did when he got to the playoffs. He hasn't done anything to earn the money that he's seeking. That is the Josh Allen money. You want to talk about Josh Allen? I saw him in literally a divisional playoff round, saw him in an AFC championship game, and I've seen growth. Talk about Mahomes. 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl win, and an MVP. Lamar Jackson, I know he had a bad season last year due to a lot of injuries, including arguably the best left tackle, the most expensive left tackle in football, but he's still an MVP. That's something you haven't done. So if you want $18 million is what you're asking for, which is more money, sure, I'll pay you $20 million. Here, you can have $20 million, but the money that you're trying to seek, that you're trying to hold us hostage for, stop it. This was a bad move by Burkhardt. It's a bad move to publicize what you're asking for. And, he has to grow up. And once he grows up and he wants to support the franchise, you got to support him. It's like giving him an ultimatum. Like, if you don't support us, we're out. It was a bad move by Burkhardt. It was a bad move for Kyler Murray to allow Burkhardt to do that, because you're in year 4 now. So now we can't hold you as that young kid that came in from Oklahoma. You're not a kid anymore. You're 4th year in. You can't let Burkhardt put that out, and it's going to backfire on him.
It was bad, and I think he's regressed.
Yeah.
He looked like he was seeing ghosts in the playoffs. His second half of the season, he lost to the Lions, man. All right, he's not the quarterback we all think he is.
Say that again.
He's not the quarterback that we all thought he was going to be. I'm telling you, he better go to the Oakland A's because he was a first-round pick there. I think he'd be a better long-term guy with the Oakland A's because he's a little guy. He wants his money. Of course he wants his money because nothing's guaranteed after this. He's going to get killed, man. They're on to him.
You know who I miss?
Brett Favre.
I hate that Herm Edwards is coaching at Arizona State because he was so good on ESPN.
Yeah.
I learned so much from Herm Edwards. Among the things that I learned from Herm Edwards, if you played for him, it was the rule of 1. If you played for him, you could have 1 house, 1 car, 1 piece of jewelry, 1 wife, or 1 girlfriend, and you couldn't have both.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 1. Get it? 1 wife, 1 girlfriend. You can't have both. Got it. Okay, good. The other thing I learned from Herm Edwards, don't press send.
Yeah.
If you want to write it up because you're so furious, go ahead and write it up, type it up, get your phone out, type it up, you're so furious. Don't press send.
Leave it in drafts.
Eric Burkhardt should have never pressed send on that, because that only does one thing. And I'm not sure what his goal was, if he thought that was going to get.
He wanted to get paid.
Public
but he wants to get paid. But it's a percentage of that.
If he believed that public sentiment would get behind Kyler Murray and, be forceful against the Arizona Cardinals to the point where they, back down and pay Kyler Murray. That's like, what is your goal of sending that? Because it just makes you look small and desperate.
It seems like in the situation, it seems like it's over already. Like, it seems like that situation with Kyler Murray. And the funny thing is, the person that's not getting any blame, who had no experience in the NFL and is showing it year after year after year, is Cliff Kingsbury. But that's for another day. Like, if you look,
Cliff Kingsbury is a guy that had a losing record with Patrick Mahomes.
Oh my God! Like, let's bring that up at some point too. But if you just look at that, what Cliff Kingsbury done. If you look at the Cardinals, they're trying to get them an ultimatum. Talking about Kyler Murray. He says, hey, if you guys support me, I'll support you. That's an ultimatum. Also, you look at them. He wanted to get petty because they got petty. They start leaking little things out about him when he scrubbed the media and said he was a bad team player. They start leaking little information out. This is a bad situation already. 3 years into this marriage, it's already over. I don't see them coming back from this, because he clearly doesn't want to be there already.
The Cardinals don't pay anyone either.
And they've never paid anybody.
They didn't even pay Rod Tidwell.
Only person they shout out to Jerry Maguire.
That's right.
Only person they paid was Larry Fitzgerald, who restructured every year, by the way. Yeah. That situation is dead in the water, because I don't think they can come back from this. Because Kyler, these young kids nowadays, they're petty. Like, that's the way they live.
So let me ask you this then, Braylon.
It isn't his fault to start.
What do you do if you're the Cardinals now?
A ton of people want Kyler Murray.
What do you do? Let me ask you that, guys.
2 first-round picks in a row on a quarterback.
Who's paying? Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. Let me get my team down. Somebody take that deal. That's a good one.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. Because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet, located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. Les Stanford is your Corvette king. GM announced that all-new 2023 Corvette Z06 flat-plane V8 capable of 670 horsepower, making it the most powerful, naturally aspirated V8 in production. How about 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds?
Man, that's fast.
That's right. Hey, we're not getting them into a Corvette, but our guy here, Easy, is hooked up with Weston over there at Les Stanford Chevrolet. If you need any Chevrolet or Cadillac needs, head over to LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com. If you want a Corvette, check out CorvetteKing.com, CorvetteKing.com.
Find new roads.
Boom. So I ask you the question, Braylon. We are talking about the Kyler Murray situation in Arizona. What do you do if you're the Arizona Cardinals?
I know, right?
I just look at him, but he makes me smile. This guy.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Who was your team last year? They've since changed their names, but they were essentially your team last year. That was the WFT. They're now the Commanders.
Football team.
They have 2 first rounders.
Yeah. I mean, you're essentially. Do you need to give up 3 first-round picks? I mean, you're probably, if you're giving up 2 first-round picks for Stafford,
I think
you're giving up 3 first-round picks for a 24-year-old 2-time Pro Bowler.
I don't know. You might get away with getting 2 first-round picks and then maybe some other stuff. And the only reason why is because Kyler Murray always seems to struggle big time. And halfway, maybe like I would say Thanksgiving to the rest of the season, he always seems to struggle bad around that time. Like, he goes from looking like a quarterback that's the guy that's going to take over, the guy that this is now the new benchmark in terms of what a quarterback looks like. He goes from that to, man, this guy can't get a win, or this guy can't get a first down, or this guy can't extend a drive. So I think you could sneak and get away. Because of the fall of his production at the end of each season, I think you can get away with 2 first rounders, but you're going to have to come with something else, though.
You got anything to add to that, Maz?
I think they found out who he is.
Yeah.
The kid who was on our show here, and he told us the way he has to throw an arcing ball now.
Oh, that was myself, and was it Woody?
I think it was.
It was
I think
Damian
it
Woody?
was. I think it was.
Yeah.
It's just they got. He's too
Dude,
short.
they gotta pay him. They're gonna pay him.
Yeah,
No,
they 100%.
he's on a rookie contract.
No, they're gonna pay him. I'm telling you right now.
They're not going to pay
they're
him.
mad about it.
I'm telling you, he's a 24-year-old, 2-time Pro Bowl quarterback.
First round MLB draft pick.
First round MLB draft pick, so there's the threat of that always.
Yeah.
They are going to pay Kyler Murray. They're not going to like it, but they're going to do it. You see how hard it is to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
They drafted Josh Rosen in the top 10, come back the next year, fire him essentially, draft Kyler Murray. You look at what the Lions are faced with, and every other team that is faced with a situation with a need at quarterback right now this year, you're talking about you're trading up to 4 or 3 to draft Malik Willis.
Listen, man.
That's how bad the quarterback class is. That's how desperate teams are to find a quarterback when you're talking about Malik Willis at 3.
If
They're going to pay Kyler Murray.
If Lamar Jackson hasn't got paid yet, they're not ripping this kid's contract up. No way in hell. He ain't Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is twice as good as Kyler Murray.
I agree, but
good point. Different situation.
But I agree with both of you guys. But the reason I say the difference with Lamar and Kyler is Lamar's always been an accuracy issue. Like they've always talked about his accuracy issue, whether he's played good or not. His accuracy somehow is coming to the play. Oh, he can't throw the ball. He's not on point with the ball. He's not on time. Excuse me. Kyler has never been questioned in terms of his accuracy, whether he was running, whether he was in the pocket, out the pocket. His accuracy has always been up. He's always been over. In his 3 years, he's over 66% every time. I want to say last year he was at 69%, almost 70%. So there is that. But if you look at this weird year we're in, he's going to get paid. And Ryan's right. That's because this quarterback draft class is, I don't want to say trash. I've been working on being positive.
As of right now, it sucks.
Okay, so in the words of Bubba Dub Jr., trash. So now when you look at all the free agent quarterbacks or the restricted free agent, that's where you're gonna win right now, man. That's why I can see somebody making a move. You look at Aaron Rodgers, you look at Russell Wilson, you look at Kyler Murray, you look at Mitchell Trubisky, and the list goes on. That's now where guys are gonna find their quarterback. It ain't in the draft. So I'm telling you, don't be surprised if somebody made a stupid big offer for Kyler Murray, seeing all that friction.
It's interesting you mentioned Russell Wilson, too, because that's another quarterback that has scrubbed his entire social media of anything related to the Seattle Seahawks. Is that I'm a little surprised by Russ in
Passive-aggressive.
Yeah.
This is the new way in 2020 to be passive-aggressive.
You played with Russ?
Yeah, he was a kid then. Yeah. He was young, and that was a whole nother marriage ago when I played with him. But yeah, this is that new passive aggressive way to get a point across. Like I don't have to say too much. Like I don't have to come out and say, man, F the Seahawks. Or I have to come out and say, you know what? I'm just now on the same page with the Seahawks. I feel like there's more loyalty. There should be more. Like you just change your picture on your profile. Like and now you're just like, oh man, what's going on with Russell? Like what have the Seahawks done to Russell? It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But he's also talking about staying, too. You never know.
Russell Wilson is one of the more intriguing quarterbacks this offseason because, I mean, we could do this Aaron Rodgers song and dance all we want.
He's coming back.
Yeah, right.
Everyone knows he's coming back.
I do believe Russell Wilson is out of Seattle.
You think he's coming back to Green Bay?
Aaron's coming back. Like, Aaron likes a production.
I do
Aaron
too.
likes a production. Everything with him is, I want people to know how good I am. Oh, I want to be the highest paid quarterback. No, I didn't say that. Oh, I'm immunized. No, I'm not. Like, he likes the production. He likes the drama. He likes the people, hey, look at me. I'm over here. Watch me. Check me out. He's going to go back because he's not dumb either. Like him wanting to be the man, there's only one place you can be the man, and that's there. It's too much indecisive. It's too much indecision in terms of that AFC. You don't know what's going on over there. Quarterback's too good. The teams are too good. You don't want to go over there and take a chance on how good you are. Because also, if I'm an AFC team, am I picking him up? Like I know what he's going to do for me in the regular season. But I also know what he's going to do in the playoffs. So do I take that chance on him? That's a tough cookie to eat.
So we've seen Tom Brady move to a team and win a Super Bowl. We've seen Matthew Stafford move to a team and win a Super Bowl. Doesn't Russell Wilson feel like that next logical guy where he could essentially – and I know Aaron Rodgers is out there, but I don't – like you, Braylon, the more this goes on, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is. He's either going to play for the Packers or he's going to retire.
You can't put that letter out that he put out last Monday, a week ago from today, and go play for somebody else.
Yeah, I think he's going to play for the Packers or he's going to retire, and there's no in between. And
He
I
ain't
hope
retiring.
I hope it's the latter.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
And it might not be, but Russell Wilson to me feels like that next guy that could go somewhere else and win a Super Bowl. And to me, if you look around the landscape, I think the best possible landing spot for Russell Wilson is Pittsburgh.
How about Washington?
What about that offensive line? So here's the thing: if you pick up his cap hit, which I want to say is the second biggest, is like 43 or 44. If you pick up that cap hit, how are you gonna pay for offensive linemen? Because their offensive lineman situation is atrocious. So like, where do you get money to pay offensive linemen?
I don't know. I'm not the cap guy, but I just feel like Pittsburgh.
You know who is? Mike Tannenbaum.
We can ask him. But I just feel like Pittsburgh competing in the AFC North.
Yeah.
Man, they could win that division, and you win that.
Cincinnati.
I know. I think Cincinnati.
Baltimore.
I know.
That's tough.
I know, but I think Pittsburgh wins that division with Russell Wilson. I think Cincinnati's in for a little bit of a. I don't know why. I just feel like they're in for a little bit of a regression. That's just me.
They could be.
Baltimore, we'll find out. I like Baltimore.
They're so game. They're a game team.
They could be the worst to first team that we see for the 17th year and 17th time in 19 years.
What's
where
the
team
closest
goes worst
team
to first?
to Baltimore?
Washington.
Geographically.
Washington.
Send Russell to Washington.
Yeah, that's not a bad spot.
Send Russell to Washington.
That's not a bad spot.
Chase Young comes back this year. You have Gibson. You have Terry McLaurin. That's a good team down there, man. Like, they just waiting for a leader. You know, Heineke's a good guy. He's not a leader that they need. Like, Russell could be that guy. And you know that division is so fickle. It changes hands every year.
That division is up for grabs.
And
the Cowboys are the leaders, but it's up for grabs.
And the Cowboys have a lot of questions. That's another thing I want to get to with Mike Tannenbaum. Who are they going to pay? They can't pay and keep everybody. It's about.
Well, they got to get rid of Zeke.
Too late. They paid him.
Zeke, they paid him. So Zeke's money is already
guaranteed. They paid
guaranteed.
him and Dak, and they paid Amari Cooper.
Trevor Lawrence, Gregory, and Amari Cooper are going to be the interesting ones.
One thing
they didn't get Cooper yet?
I want to ask Mike Tannenbaum,
His
too.
base salary 20.
What's the conversation like in an organization when you have a Super Bowl winning quarterback and, 1 yard away from a two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback? What's the conversation like to get rid of him in the tail end of the prime of his career? Is that fair to say the tail end of the prime?
Very fair. Like
not the tail end of his career.
That was a lot of respect.
Not the tail end of his career, but the tail end of the prime of his career.
I like that.
What's that conversation like? How do you as an organization make that decision to get rid of that guy when you know how desperate all these teams are to try to get that guy? You have that guy, you're getting rid of him. I mean,
that's tough. This is year 11 for him. Yeah, he just finished 10. This is year 11. He was drafted in 2012. He won Super Bowl. Was on an inch away from winning another one. Hey, we appreciate your service, but we're going on a different direction. That's tough. That's a tough conversation to have.
That's a tough division to win.
Yeah,
if you're Seattle.
That. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's another point too. Yeah. They're probably the worst team in that division.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, as it stands right now, with Russ or without him.
That's what you're starting to see, though, man. Like, and that's what Tom was able to. It's good that Tom came into his own. How Tom came to his own in terms of the money being made, because he was able to keep doing those deals and not take as much and get paid on the back end. Because look what happened to Russell and the Seahawks, man. It's like, hey, he got paid deservingly so, but then the team fell apart. They have money to pay other things. You look at Mahomes. Mahomes got paid. Team started falling apart. Offensive line, they had to start reshuffling and making moves. That thing is something to be said about these quarterbacks. Like, look at Aaron Rodgers. He wants to be the highest paid, whether he says it or not. We know he wants to be. Look at them trying to shuffle and scramble and, okay, well, let's put this guy here. It's a tough thing. Like, they deserve money, but at the same time, look what happens when they get paid.
Hey, gang, if you're watching on YouTube, smash that like button. I'd like to get to 100 likes before the end of hour number one.
Back.
If we can do that, want to get to 100 likes or more before the end of hour number one. Just helps YouTube push our stuff out, and we like numbers. We're numbers guys. I'm a numbers guy. I like numbers. Also, do you mind if we geek out next segment? Because I know, Maz, this is your segment. I'm doing this for Tom Mazawey as well.
Let's do it.
All right. The announcer carousel in the NFL.
What? Is there such thing?
Has added a new name to it, and he's a college guy. It's a name I've brought up in the past. I want to get your thoughts on if you think a move to the NFL is a good move for Mr. Kirk Herbstreit. We'll do that next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network. Bottom line.
You better bring Fowler with him.
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down!
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires and hits!
Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy. And the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shots, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans.
Got it!
Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Centron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over! Anything can happen in March!
Hey, everybody, it's Maz from the Planet Fitness Studios here at Woodward Sports, and I want to tell you about Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere, and memberships, it's almost free. $10 a month or get a black card for $22.99. Black card members, you get to enjoy amenities such as unlimited tanning, hydro massage, massage chairs, and the total body enhancement. Not only that, you get access to over 2,000 locations, and you get to bring a guest with you. It's like a 2-for-1 deal. Join today in club or online at planetfitness.com. Now open in Midtown Detroit at the Detroit Piston Performance Center. Right now, Planet Fitness, $0 down, $10 a month. Get your butt over there. Planet Fitness.
Definitely want to see Tom Mazawey at Planet Fitness for sure.
I got my girls there.
I know you do. I know you do.
I need to be there. That's no doubt about it.
That's awesome.
I need to stop eating pizza first.
Well, you know, it's real hard to do, Maz, especially when you got a little bit of,
pizza lover in you.
It's good, man. You got some of that New Jersey pie, man. You know,
the best.
Pack it on.
The best.
Did you have a favorite pizza in New York?
New York? Nah, man. It's just like after the club. Just like, oh, you know what? Artichoke was good. Artichoke is a pizza restaurant that was in who was it? It's like I know like the clubs.
Did you ever go to Grimaldi's in Brooklyn? That's the
Grimaldi's.
That's the oven, the brick oven.
That's
pizza.
the brick oven. Yeah, I have that. My boy Tito took me there. That was really good.
I like just a plain old pie, just a regular, not brick oven, nothing.
No.
Just give me my pizza. If I see a pizza sign neon, I'm going in there.
I like it a little undercooked too.
Okay.
I like it a little doughy.
That's not bad.
Doughy?
That's not bad.
A little doughy.
Hoboken's for you then, Benny Tadino's.
Oh,
makes
Hoboken.
it just for you.
Hoboken.
Absolutely.
What
do they get you a sandwich at Satriali's?
Oh, I didn't get a Satriali's.
Is that
this
open
time.
still? That's not open.
I don't think it is, but of course, where Tony got whacked is, and that's Holston's, and I go there every time I go home.
Very good. Did you go this time around?
I did. Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on a hard roll. Onion rings on the side.
No soup for you.
No soup for you.
It's so funny because like the people listening to us and watching that from Michigan, they're like, what and what and what? Like, yeah, they're thinking Little Caesars.
Different language.
Exactly.
Did you ever have Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on a hard roll? It's the Taylor ham is
different
the
language.
best.
I don't even know what the hell that is.
Oh my god.
It's pork roll down South Jersey.
Sure.
Up North Jersey, it's Taylor ham.
I love it. Guys, welcome back. Ermanni and Edwards, the Bottom Line Woodward Sports Network. Geez, you guys are awesome on the YouTube. Over 100 likes, just like that. We certainly appreciate that. Need 6,000 views
Pizza
on
Pop
today's show over the next 24 hours to reach 100,000 views on YouTube in the month of February. Pretty darn good, I'd say, as we continue our ascension to the freaking moon here at Woodward Sports Network.
Man. We're
That's
on
right.
it. We appreciate all the support.
So I do want to geek out for a moment,
All right.
if I could.
Love geeks.
Because announcers to me are every bit as important as what happens on the field.
Thank you.
Now, that's me.
And me.
Okay? That is me. Look, if you have, I don't even want to say, I'm not going to say, I'm going to stop myself short of having, I'm going to say, if you have a bad announcer for a game,
right,
it really ruins the game. No, Aqib Talib is not a bad announcer.
He's funny.
I think Aqib Talib should be on every Lions game because he is entertaining.
He tells it like it is.
I want to be entertained. But anyway, I digress. So Troy Aikman is going to leave Fox when it's all said and done. I think they offered him upwards of $13.5 million to stay. He can make in excess of $17, $18, $20 million a year if he leaves. He'll replace...
Doing what?
He'll go to Monday Night Football. Now, aren't there 2 Monday Night Football games coming this year?
Just on one day.
Oh, yeah, on one night.
On one night. Oh, on one night. They do that every year.
ABC is going to get 3 games this year. ESPN will get the other 14.
Okay.
For $20 million, Troy Aikman better be listed as a backup quarterback as well.
Troy Aikman, like Jim Nantz, very upset at the Tony Romo deal. Jim Nantz himself upset with the Tony Romo deal because
I didn't know that.
Because he threatened to leave CBS because he wanted Tony Romo money. Tony Romo makes $1 million a Sunday for 17 Sundays.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's what Troy's going to make.
Jim Nantz is like, wait a minute. I'm doing the NFL. I'm doing the Final Four. I'm doing golf. What's my $6 million a year doing? So Jim Nantz got paid.
Right.
Troy Aikman's sitting there saying, I got 3 Super Bowl titles. I've been doing this for 20 years. He's getting $17 million. I want $17 million. So that's where this all started, actually.
I love it.
Yeah, that's how this whole thing started.
You know what this all tells you, right? There's a lot of money to be made in TV in the NFL.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable money. It's fake. It's monopoly money.
Well, if you think about it, Braylon.
You look at that bank account and realize, oh, no, this is real deal.
Right. Okay. But think of, even in our business, think of the highest paid people. You know,
Stephen A. Smith. $13 million.
Adam Schefter.
6.
Ian Rappaport. You know, I mean, all these guys who are like Rich Eisen.
Scotty Van Pelt.
SVP.
You know, I'm naming all guys that just little guys like this that never played before.
Dan Patrick.
We could just talk. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's just so much money in this business. Whether you play it or don't play it, whatever.
It's a lot of love. It's a lot of love to go around, which is basically like you don't have to be the guy on the field or on the court or the girl, or on the field or on the court or on the tennis court or the golf course. Like you can be a person that still is enthused by that sport, still wants to know as much as that sport, wants to report on that sport, wants to talk about that sport. There's room for everybody to eat and not necessarily have to play that sport.
Right, and so Troy Aikman wants that money. He's going to get it. Sean Payton talking to Fox now. I don't think Sean Payton goes to the booth, though. If Sean Payton gets it, I think Sean Payton could be a studio guy.
Yeah, I agree with you.
He could be like Jimmy Johnson's friggin' 80 years old. I mean, at some point, Jimmy Johnson's
He's hardly even there.
Yeah, I know. Jimmy Johnson's got to hang it up, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think with Sean
At some point.
Sean Payton's waiting for, but the thing is, and that's kind of made me realize, Sean Payton might be waiting for another coaching gig though, because the more I'm hearing him comment, the more he says when he does interviews, his tweets, things of that nature, it just seems like the situation was just so toxic down there in New Orleans. He was just trying to get the hell out of there, but he still wants to coach. He even said that a week or two after. He was like, "Hey, I'm not done coaching. I'm just, I'm done coaching in New Orleans. So I'm taking a break." So I don't know if he wants to go inside the booth or he wants to coach, or wants to be a coach. I think he wants to be a coach.
He's going to go to TV, and he's going to do it for 1 year.
Yeah.
And then McCarthy is going to get fired, and he's going to go to Dallas. Sean Payton.
That could be
That's exactly what's going to happen with Sean Payton.
I don't know why I'm surprised, but it was, when I was gone, Sean McVay says he's not doing the TV thing. I mean, to pass up $20 million to just talk football once in a while?
Is he that good though? Like sometimes people are scared. Let's just say that I'm right about this one. Let's say I'm right about this, and it's purely the insecurity of, am I good at that? Can I do that? Like it doesn't matter sometimes what people throw at you. if you're uncomfortable with another gig, or you don't have that faith in yourself, like, what if I suck? What if I'm not Gruden? What if I can't break the game down? What if that's not what I want to do? You'll look at a lot of money and be like, I'm cool, because you're nervous and you're scared. That could be what it is.
Just because you coach well in the NFL,
it doesn't translate.
Doesn't mean. Look, Tony Romo didn't win any Super Bowls, but
damn it, he's good on TV. He's better than Troy Aikman. Right. Troy Aikman got 3 Super Bowls.
Exactly. I mean, Tony Romo is a better broadcaster than he was a quarterback.
Yeah, I would agree.
Sean McVay may be a better coach than he is a broadcaster.
He might get up there and be like Weasley.
Right. It ain't that easy to be on TV and pop those lights on.
Where's Al Michaels going to be?
I think Al Michaels, either Amazon or ESPN. One of those.
Kirk Herbstreit, good NFL or bad NFL guy?
I think I don't think he'd be bad, but I think he's perfect for college, man. Like, he was a college quarterback. He gets the guys, like, whenever he gives a take, like, it always has an element, like, he knows the player's family. Like, he knows the college kid himself. And he knows how to comment on all things 18 to 22 years old. Like, I think it adds value. So I think he wouldn't be bad. Something about him in college, it just works. It fits.
Listen, I'll listen to Fowler and him do whatever. They can do tiddlywinks, and I'll listen to them.
But that's an important point as well. Can we stay with just a couple more minutes? Because I got a couple more points about this. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, bottom line.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey, gang, Woodward Sports sending you to New Orleans to see the college basketball finals. We can't say the words. Just can't say it by law. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show, afternoons with Big D Energy, and drive time with the Bottom Line. Want more chances to qualify? Make sure you are following Woodward Sports on Twitter, Instagram, and head over to woodwardsports.com.
From now until the 25th of March, that is 4 weeks, we are going 60 on-air qualifiers. 1 qualifier per show. That means we got to do a qualifier today. 25 social media online entry, Twitter, IG, and woodwardsports.com. Airfare, hotel, tickets to the game, all included. Airfare, hotel, and tickets to the game. I'm trying to tell you, this college basketball final, it is going to be fun just because it's free. Win a trip to the finals for the basketball championship.
We'll do a qualifier today within the next 30 minutes, so stay tuned for that. We'll do a qualifier in the next 30 minutes for your chance to qualify today.
Sounds good.
Guys, just to clean up some of the things with the announcers, we mentioned Herbstreit potentially going to the NFL to do Thursday Night Football. Amazon heating up conversations with him, but, could he legally, contractually do a Thursday game and keep his Saturday ESPN gig? Time will tell. I mean, I'm not sure what his contract details are, but there is something to be said for partnerships, too. Kirk Herbstreit was great with Brent Musburger, and he's even better with Chris Fowler. You take Chris Fowler, you take Chris Fowler away from Kirk Herbstreit. Look,
you got to take them both.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah. If I had to do a show with somebody other than Braylon Edwards, I might not be as good at doing this as I think I am doing it with you.
That's funny. Somebody actually just texted me that and said they love our chemistry. No, that's real though. You know, like, you're really good at something, but it's also like that chemistry that you have with someone. You take that away, sometimes it's not the same. It doesn't hit the same, and people notice that. And that's a situation where I can't hear Chris Fowler without Herbstreit.
It's a comfort level.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They're a pair. That's why Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, to me, are a pair. I think they got to stay together. The only downside is Joe is a baseball guy, and he is Fox Baseball. Kevin Burkhardt easily can replace him in football and baseball. He used to do the Mets games. This guy, I'm telling you, is the real deal. If Joe goes to ESPN, it's too bad that ESPN already told Carl Ravitch, you're the host. You're the new Sunday Night Baseball guy with David Cohn and Eduardo Perez. Because tell me Joe Buck on a Sunday night on ESPN wouldn't be dynamite.
Yeah,
it would be awesome.
Yeah.
But you can't do that to Ravi now. So I don't know if it'll happen.
I don't know. And Joe Buck has another year on his deal with Fox, so
they could buy that out.
would be, well, they could, but you could potentially have a situation where Aikman goes this year and then Buck goes the following year.
Yeah, then they get rid of Ravitch.
Yeah, it would be
bring him back to the studio.
Yeah, it would be something. Hey guys, we're about 25 minutes away from having a conversation with former Jets general manager, former Dolphins general manager Mike Tannenbaum was with you, Braylon, in New York, responsible for bringing you to New York, and I think fond memories of that as well. Now with ESPN, Mike Tannenbaum, lots to discuss with him today.
I can't wait. It was some of the most fun times of my life. I've always been a New York, the state and the city of New York fan, especially the city. I used to always go there and travel. So when I got an opportunity to be traded there, man, it was a lot of fun. It's the most fun I've had in the NFL. Back-to-back AFC championships. We did Hard Knocks in 2010. The infamous game we beat Tom Brady and the Patriots in 2010, where they were the #1 seed. A lot of fun times. He brought in LaDainian Tomlinson. He brought in Antonio Cromartie, Jason Taylor. So I got a chance to be on a team with a lot of Hall of Famers, or some Hall of Famers, including Revis. So it was just fun to be there, man. And it seemed like he really had his finger on that pulse because he was there, and we'll talk about this with the whole Brett Favre move where they brought Favre in 2008, I want to say. So a lot of questions to ask him. He was on the finger of that pulse from 2008 to 2010 that saw us kind of move, and then go back to back.
Forget Jason, was Joy Taylor there? That's all I care about.
This guy right here. Joy Taylor was there. I did. She used to come to a couple of the events. Who doesn't like New York? And as women, who doesn't like to shop? So they would come in town.
The best.
Yeah, Jason was the best, though, man. Like Jason.
Hall of Famer.
He was a cool dude, man.
Yeah.
Like he had the contract with Jordan. One of the cool things he did is he had the contract with Jordan, still does, lifetime contract. And the cool grades came out. My favorite Jordans of all time, the cool gray 11s, patent leather number 11s, the cool gray that came out. And he got everybody on the team a pair. And I asked him, I was like, I'll pay you a little extra and get another pair because it was a gift for Christmas. Got me another pair like nothing ever happened. Great guy. Love Jason Taylor.
Beautiful.
Speaking of Hard Knocks,
Detroit.
It's got to be the Lions.
Everything is coming to Detroit.
Right? I mean, it's got to be the Lions. And if you're just tuning in, speaking of everything coming to Detroit, the city of Detroit apparently is a finalist for the 2024 NFL Draft, along with Green Bay and Washington, D.C. Should get that answer by the end of the month of March. But Hard Knocks, what do you recall about that whole experience? Because I think most of us here in Detroit want it. I think we want to watch it. I think we need it. I think Dan Campbell would be phenomenal on there, and I just hope it happens.
I think the great thing about Detroit is, one, it's a great city. It's an industrial city, one of those cities. So like that aspect will be fun. I'm from there. They can add a lot of culture into this show. But you don't have like the superstars on the team yet. So like they literally could just go with everybody and just record everybody kind of sort of. And I think they will create stars on the show with us. It was fun to watch because you see guys will turn it on when that camera was on, because they were recording basically everything. They had like video cameras and anything, whether it was in the dorms, at Florham Park, whether it was at the practice facility, at practice. And you see guys like turn into hams or turn into camera hogs or like shine hogs when the camera would come on. You're like, oh, this guy don't act like that regularly. But this guy doesn't do that. LaDainian got extra. Jason Taylor was extra. Everybody got extra. Cromartie was over the top extra. That was the fun part of having Hard Knocks, is just watching guys try to do the most to get on camera. Because everything that you guys see on the footage, just like any other movie, any other TV show, there's a ton of stuff that they record. Like I recorded about four bits. And they only had one of them. That's when I think I got fitted for a suit at Salvatore Ferragamo. Like they did that. I did 4 other things that weren't on there. So a lot of hamming it up by teammates.
Were you pissed?
I was going to say that.
was.
You did it again.
I was mad. I wasn't one of the guys that went overboard, but I put the charm on.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm on the cutting floor.
I was pissed, man, because I've been DJing about 4 years now, and so I had a DJ set that I recorded, and they didn't show that on the air, and it was this other one where me and LaDainian did like a parody. There's a bunch of stuff that didn't make it. Yes, I was pissed to answer your question.
Boy.
I do think, speaking of the Lions, I think it did come out today, not 100% certain, but it doesn't look like they'll be playing internationally this year, one of those games, because some of the teams are starting to filter out who is going to play in Mexico, who's going to play in Germany, who's going to play in London. They will eventually have to give up a home game over the next 2-3 years, but this will not be one of those years. Did you ever play in London?
Hell no, I'm glad I did. I'm glad that the Lions don't play in London. You know why? Because if the Lions play in London, then that means our butts would have
6 a.m. pregame shows.
Exactly. We would have been at the tin roof at 6 a.m. So I'm glad they didn't get their game. But no, I've never been in one. My brother-in-law, Marcus, was, who celebrated a birthday a couple weeks ago. He was in one, and he just talked about just like off. You're like off all week. You playing the game off. You come back off. You play that following game off. That's why the best way to do it is when you do the London game, it's good to have a bye week right after. And I think the NFL should put that in place. Whenever you play out there, the following week should automatically be a bye week.
I don't know why they force that stuff.
I know. I don't like it.
It's so dumb.
I don't like it at all. It's just not for. It's not for us.
No.
I don't know what they want. They're not going to put a team in Germany.
Right.
They're not.
It's the number one sport in the world. So I mean.
Here, I got something from I have an official statement from the Detroit Sports Commission.
Okay.
Marty Doback wrote me.
Good.
Detroit has an outstanding history of hosting major sports events. We are proud of those that currently call Detroit home and are continuously looking to attract and welcome others to our great city. It would be premature for us to discuss anything further at this point.
There you go.
So there you go. So nothing's official yet.
But I do love the fact that they put their hat in the ring every year on everything. They do such a great job over there at the Detroit Sports Commission. Final Fours, All-Star Games, Super Bowls. They're trying to get another Super Bowl.
Yep.
I mean,
they're
WrestleManias. They're trying to get in.
Are they going to knock down Ford Field?
I think they also were talking about the Big Ten championship in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think that's another thing that they're trying to get into.
Absolutely. Trying to get in on the college football playoff at Ford Field. I cannot believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the YouTube chat, just feel free to call me out too if I'm wrong. I don't believe the NHL or the NBA has an All-Star game scheduled at LCA.
Not yet. It will.
They better.
It's the deal. When you build something, it's a deal.
Exactly.
You get a game.
You'll get one.
Meanwhile, I just watched another All-Star game at the Q, or excuse me, the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, or whatever it's called. I'm like, that's the Q. They've already had one there. They had one in 2003.
Gund Arena.
Like Gun. It's all the same thing.
Are they going to redo Ford Field first before we get a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it definitely needs to be redone.
20 years, man. 20 years. You're looking at another stadium in 10 years? Can you believe that?
It's sad.
Because 30 years, you need a new stadium, right?
Yeah.
I would think.
Especially nowadays. Like technology, it shoots out.
Just too fast. Guys, big announcement in the NFL yesterday regarding Bucs offensive lineman Ali Marpet. Retired in his late 20s. I think he's 28 years old. Kind of shocking everybody, but should it?
The Rats are jumping ship in Tampa.
We've been talking about it, man. There was an underlying current, and I think AB kind of he was the first domino to kind of rock that boat and let you know the things underneath, and not necessarily what AB did, but what AB came out and said, which is interesting sense.
So we'll explore this. Ali Marpet, one of the Bucs' best offensive linemen, if not the best offensive lineman, calling it a career. 28 years old. Get your thoughts on that. I'm not sure it's as shocking as it may seem. We'll have that. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network. Bottom line.
Everything that we've hoped for finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey, gang, it's Maz for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck and your great host, Chris and Noni Hutt. What is foaling? It's throwing a football down a bowling lane, and you can knock all those pins down. It's going to take you a while, though. Unless you knock the 5-pin down in one shot, that gives you an automatic win. But you know all the rules. The Hutts will tell you about it. And you can have lots of ways to play. Bring your friends and family. You can go by yourself as well. A couple ways to play. $10 unlimited open play. You can go when they open, and you leave when they close. Or you can rent a lane and have a private lane reservation. 10 people on a lane costs you $120, and you get it for 2 hours. Can you bring your own food in? You bet you can. And you can order it as well. How about the bar scene? They got multiple open bars, multiple full bars, and, of course, over 100 beers to serve. The $2 mystery beer machine is there at your disposal as well. So go get your foal on. Check them out at foalingwarehouse.com.
Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Mike Tannenbaum coming up at 3:30 in about 15 minutes from now. In the meantime, I want to mention this Sun retirement yesterday, kind of a surprise retirement. And anytime a young player at the top of his game retires, I think it's worth conversation. And whatever the reason may be, they think they're all valid ones. Look, Ali Marpet says, I don't want to put my body through this anymore. 28 years old. Yeah. Played 7 seasons with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously a Super Bowl champion last year. Says, I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm actually not surprised by this. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more. And the reason I say that is because you look at the money guys are making now. Yeah. You don't have to do it for as long as if you really love it and you don't want to do anything else with your life, that's one thing. But man, when you're putting your body through that strain, that collision every single day, I'm surprised more people don't retire young.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. You know, you talk about young guys doing it. You're surprised they don't do it more. I mean, look, check this out. I played with Patrick Willis, one of the greatest Mike linebackers ever played. Patrick shut it down after 9. Patrick's like, I'm cool. Luke Kuechly, we watched him. And now we know Luke's was more so generated because of the concussions that he had, and he wanted to preserve his brain, preserve his mental. But he retired early. Now you're looking at Arpit. But what's the goal? And like to what you said, it's about purpose. About maybe this ain't it. Maybe there's other things. Maybe I can go do other things. Look at Arpit. What's the goal? To get in the NFL. He got in the NFL. To win a Super Bowl is everybody's dream, especially the ones that want to play football. He won a Super Bowl. He was a Pro Bowler. So he was at the top of his craft. He was one of the best offensive linemen. He was able to accomplish that in 7 years. He's made money in those 7 years. Now he's looking at, I'll give you an example. He's looking at Bruce Arians punch a player. He's looking at AB running across the field with no shirt on. He's looking at whatever undercurrents that they have going on in Tampa, not to mention himself in the trenches and battling and going up against these superior pass rushers. Like, he played against Aaron Donald. Maybe Aaron Donald's the one that made him retire. He was like, I don't want to go against Aaron Donald anymore. So you start to look at that, and to your point, I don't understand why they don't do it. More people don't do it sooner. Because, man, 7 years, Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, made money, I'm good. And, oh, by the way, I really care about X, whatever X is, as a passion. So my hat's off to him. Congratulations.
Tom Brady might have gotten his ear. Tom Brady might have him doing something for Tom Brady, for TB12's organization. You don't know who these guys meet and who they talk to and want to do their own business. Maybe he's going to get in the cannabis business.
Maybe he's going to go to Tom Brady with his next team.
He just might.
Well, I mean, you just don't know. And look, it's not easy to find another job, no matter if you're passionate about it or not, that's going to pay you $6, $7, $8 million a year. Just not going to find that job.
But it's not always about the money.
No, it's not.
Especially with linemen. Like, linemen are very different creatures. Like, for linemen, they're very simple. Like, linemen, they don't need the fanciest car, the flashiest watch. They don't need the flashiest house. Like, linemen are simple. They like not simple-minded. They're just simple beings. They like comfort. They like to chill, and that's it. This guy could have already found his passion. He could already be working or doing that next work, whatever. It could be spiritual. It can be religious. It can be, whatever type of work he's doing, I guarantee he's found it, and he's excited doing it.
Yeah, and again, if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the football side, a lot of this could potentially be a reflection on the head coach as well. You mentioned Bruce Arians. I think more and more is coming out about Bruce Arians that people just are rubbed the wrong way by this guy. And there was that, I don't know if it was a report or rumor that said that Brady was unhappy with Bruce Arians because there were a couple of times where he and Byron Leftwich were making the game plan for the week, and Arians would come in and scratch it all out and say this is crap, and Arians and Brady and Leftwich were like, okay.
Like Brady would change the plays too.
Right. So I mean, I think Bruce Arians is the shine's coming off on him a little bit too.
When we had the incident early in the season, or not early, later in the season, had the player that Bruce Arians, punched in the helmet, and everybody kind of was like, oh well, it's football.
It was a slap.
I was it was.
No, I'm kidding. No. But during the Juwan thing, it was that was a big deal. Punch, slap.
Exactly.
Right.
But no, even when that was going on, we kind of had the conversation. I'm like, you don't hit players. Like I'm like, there's something more there. And then you see his press conferences. He's quick with the F-bombs and the language, and he gets angry, and you can just kind of see it. Like that punch wasn't regular to me. And if I'm Ali Marpet, if I'm Marpet, and I'm a very cool, I'm a chill guy. Like I'm not a violent individual, although I play football. You can see something like that and just rub you the wrong way. And like, man, you know what? I played 7 years. I'm good. Won a championship. I'm okay. You know what? Me and my wife, or me and my dog, we're ready for, or all three, we're ready for the next step in life.
Bruce is, I think this will be his last year because he's retired in the past. He's had heart issues. He went to the booth. I don't know how good he did. He did okay, I guess. It's going to come to his time. He's going to move on. I wouldn't be shocked if Byron Leftwich took over that team.
That's a thought.
Yeah.
That's a real thought. I mean, he was a shoo-in kind of sort of to what we thought for the Jacksonville job, but then he just didn't want to trade Trent Baalke as the GM.
Baalke's
so maybe
not there.
Good for him that he can be choosy though on that too, because
especially this day and
you
age.
get one shot. Yeah. Right? You're getting one shot at
the first impression.
And if you're taking a job that you're not going to work well with the general manager, it's just a pipe dream of success, because it's not going to happen there because you can't get along with the GM, or the GM is not going to provide the assistance required that you need as a head coach, the support, pass it up. I'm glad he did.
If you have your sights and you're right there in terms of your dream or your next step, which is to be a coach or whatever in life, if you're right there, don't just accept that right now. Mom, like, all right, cool, you guys want me to be coach. Don't just accept it because it's there. Like, if you're that close, that means you can be that close for a little while longer. Make sure you do it on your dime, your time, your hour.
Guys, would love to get 150 likes over the next 5 minutes. If we could do that, that'd be amazing. Let's get to 150 before we talk to Mike Tannenbaum in less than 10 minutes. We'll talk to Mike Tannenbaum in less than 10 minutes. Would love to get to 150 likes in the meantime on YouTube. Everybody watching, we certainly appreciate it. Also, we're going to do our qualifier next. Also, MLB update. We'll do it all next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Detroit Sports on Demand.
DeAndre Swift, he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Open in the corner, triple.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app today. Take us with you everywhere you go. Search Woodward Sports Network or WSN Live.
Hey, gang! I want to tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Precision haircuts for the fellas out there. Don't you see I got it all high and tight today?
Got the tan.
Ooh, Ooh-wee, looking good with the tan, too. Ooh. Lady Janes, all you got to do, walk in, sign in, sit down. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh-wee. By the way, if you want a haircut on a Monday, you know what you can get on a Monday?
What can you get on Monday?
A haircut.
Oh, my man.
Your regular barber might be closed on Monday. It's just one of those days. But thankfully, here at Lady Jane's, we are open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. All you got to do, walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, several locations throughout the Metro Detroit area, several more around the country. We're just about in every state in our union. Lady Jane's, wicked awesome. Wicked awesome. Former Jets, former Dolphins general manager Mike Tannenbaum going to join us in about 5 minutes from now. But just a couple of news and notes. Before we do that, though, Braylon, we are qualifying one qualifier per day to go to, and I can't say it, right? But to go to the last game involving college basketball teams. Okay. There's three games I think you go to. Yeah. 3 particular games on the final weekend of the college basketball season. It's
a lot of tap dancing
That's right. For whatever reason, they don't let you say it.
So we couldn't say the game that Matt Stafford and Joe Burrow played in.
Why can't you say that?
Exactly, the Stafford.
I don't know. It's so stupid.
It's so dumb.
So stupid.
Like you put I'm done anyway.
It's dumb. All right. So this is a tricky one. But we'll say the first person on the YouTube chat to say, should we just say the month or the date? Or the month and the date?
Month.
What month the Bottom Line started here on Woodward Sports Network? What month did we start doing this show? The first person to say that on YouTube will be today's qualifier.
There it is.
Sweet.
How about that, Maz? Can you handle that?
I'll handle it.
All right. In the meantime, I want to get you a quick baseball update. It doesn't look good.
No.
Today was the deadline that was needed to avoid starting the season on time. It does not. I think we got a winner there, Maz, by the way.
We do. We have William Winbush.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. William Winbush got nipped.
No, he got nipped by
Douglas
Kaler Jr.
Douglas Kaler Jr. down the stretch they come. It's Doug over William. Doug with the win. Doug Kaler Jr. August.
Yes. August 12th
is the answer.
So for Douglas Kaler Jr., what you have to do is email ilovemarchmadness2022@gmail.com. And when you do email, I just want to let you know, you got to give your name, your phone number, your date of birth, and your email address, and I will write all of that down and get you entered. Again,
why don't you... okay, hold on, Sam.
A date in that profile.
To Douglas Kaler Jr.
Yes.
You want him to email you at...
ilovemarchmadness2022@gmail.com.
Okay, ilovemarchmadness2022@gmail.com. Let's start there.
Yes.
And then you can ask him what he needs to do.
Okay, cool.
All right. Is that good?
Yeah, we're good.
Very good. Okay, Douglas Kaler Jr., radio for one, if you will. But again, Maz, not looking good for baseball today.
It's not. Let me go to my Bob Nightingale setup here. Hold on. Very contentious early. They actually broke. The sides broke. They have not negotiated in person for 2.5 hours. And now, about 30 minutes ago, here comes Rob Manfred to join the MLB contingent.
What a bum.
So he is there now. As of 30 minutes ago, they are talking again. But it's not looking good. And if today they do not have an agreement today, and they're not going to, spring training games will start to be canceled. And then you can go on from there. The owners, it looks like, this is what it is. They don't want to play baseball at the end of March and early April. No one goes to the games. You go to your opening day. After that, the stadiums are empty. It's too cold here on the East Coast, and they're too stupid to understand. Don't start on the East Coast. Start out west. Start in domes. Don't start in Detroit on March 30th. Last year's picture was beautiful. Miguel hitting the home run. It snowed.
Yeah.
Wake up, baseball.
Let me say this to baseball, if I could. Over the last 2 years, baseball and the players, but I put more onus on Major League Baseball and the owners here. Over the last 2 years, we have lived without. We have lived without seeing our loved ones. We have lived without going to funerals. We have lived without going to school. We have lived without going to restaurants, vacations, wearing masks, covering our faces, and everything else. Not going to work, working from home, kids not going to school, homeschooling while the parents are working from home. We can live without baseball as well. If you do not get a deal done today, I'm not going to say that I'm out because I love the sport too much to be out totally.
I'm out.
And if I didn't have small kids, I would probably be out. But there are going to be people that are out.
You're not out.
I just said that, Maz. There are going to be, though, people who are out. You will lose fans forever. And I hope, for your sake, that you don't lose a majority of fans. But you better get your crap together because this is unacceptable. People are paying $5 a gallon for gas.
Yeah.
You go to the grocery store, and people, you see the price of milk and eggs and butter, and I don't say that people are struggling out there. The last thing they want to hear is that you are struggling on how to divide billions and billions of dollars. Nobody wants to hear it. Not in 1994, 95, and especially not in 2022.
Damn right.
Get your crap together. Man, chill out.
That was great.
Yeah, like you had me on the edge of my seat. I literally was dialed in, but you're right. I can just leave it at that.
And we'll take a break, come right back. We'll talk some NFL, what's happening in the NFL. Mike Tannenbaum will join us next.
The real American pastime.
I guarantee it ain't striking.
Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crack of the bat. More sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward sports. We just gotta make it through this damn cold first.
SMA has been leveraging relationships and other notables over the past decade as it relates to dealing with the issues of mental abuse and also substance abuse disorder. Join Sean Jordan, my mentor and NFL alumni, as well as Lomas Brown, myself, Devin Gardner, in bridging the gap with mental health normalcy as well as abuse disorder. Coming to the Woodward. Oh, actually, we started it last week. Proud. We got the first show out the gate. It's the sports marketing agency mixed in with Woodward Sports. This is the F Word. The F Word is a fentanyl. Our podcast started last week. It's going to be really, really good. Can't wait for that. If you need someone, if you know someone that needs help, if you yourself also need help, go to thesportsma.com, thesportsma.com to get help, answers, and all the questions you need.
All right, gang, welcome back. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey.
Rob Manfred just split.
Rob Manfred left.
He left.
Man, baseball.
How long was
I'm
it?
telling
30
you,
seconds?
Baseball's going to lose a lot of. Look, they're not going to lose me because I'm a baseball. I love baseball. They're not going to lose me, but they're going to lose a lot of people. They're going to lose a lot of people for a very long time.
They just recovered.
It's unbelievable what they're doing.
The USFL will be happy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep.
No doubt about it. Guys, let's bring him in. Kind enough to give us a couple of minutes here. Mike Tannenbaum, former general manager of the New York Jets.
Mike T.
Miami Dolphins, ESPN, NFL insider. Braylon's guy, Mike Tannenbaum. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
You know, I know you think that I'm doing you a favor, but it's really the other way around. I am proud to announce that my daughter is going to be a freshman at none other than the University of Michigan. So I'll have a lot of street cred doing this. So hopefully we're recording this. She's at school right now, but we're all about Go Blue right now, Braylon.
My team, man, I appreciate that. It's always good to hear, man. Hear that Go Blue roll off somebody's lips. I appreciate it, Mike T. How have you been, man?
It's great, and I'm really excited to be with you. And Braylon, you know, I've been a big fan of yours, what you did on the field, and obviously what you're doing now off the field. And no surprise to see you're doing as well as you are.
Ryan Davis, also known as Ryan Johnson, told me to tell you hello. She was down there with you in Miami. She told me to tell you hello, and she's watching now. So, little shout out from Ryan.
That's great. Good to hear from her as well.
Great stuff. Hey, Mike, let me get into it. First of all, again, thanks for coming on with us. Braylon speaks so glowingly of you, and we were begging him to get you on the show one day. So finally, he did. But I want to talk to you about the Detroit Lions and the NFL draft that's coming up. The number 2 spot, what are some of the conversations that are going on right now amongst teams in that top 5, in that top 10, when you're deciding whether or not to take a player that you really like, trade out of the pick? What is happening inside an organization right now that has a high pick in this draft?
The Lions are looking for someone not too much dissimilar to what the Cleveland Browns looked at when they saw Braylon Edwards, someone who's a real force multiplier. Braylon was a great receiver, but he was also a great blocker. He brought a lot of toughness, and because of that, he was somebody that brought a lot to the table well beyond just being a receiver, and that's exactly what the Lions are doing now. I was part of the group that hired Coach Campbell in Miami, and he's somebody that believes in toughness and passion, and, obviously the natural fit there is Aiden Hutchinson, played 30 minutes down the road in great Ann Arbor, Michigan, and not only would Aiden Hutchinson be a great player in terms of 10 sacks, 14 sacks, that'll take care of itself, but his sort of like infectious play tempo, who he is, he's a guy that really fits Coach Campbell's model. I think what's so fascinating about this draft, Jacksonville's sitting at 1. You could put a really good argument that, hey, they should take Evan Neal, the great tackle from Alabama, but you could also make an argument that they should take Hutchinson. So Detroit will get a great player. I think Hutchinson's the best fit possible. And maybe if he's not there, maybe they trade back a little bit. Last year they took Penei Sewell, the talented tackle from Oregon. So I think they could go in a number of different directions.
Mike, I have talked myself into 5 different players at number 2, and I've talked myself out of 20 different players at number 2. Does that happen in the room as well? With your high-level staff, does that happen where you just talk yourself in and out of players?
Guys, I used to say that our plan was firmly etched in pencil. I remember my very first draft as a GM, we were picking at 4, and Coach Mangini, Eric Mangini, was our head coach. And I'm like, there's absolutely no way that Reggie Bush will be there at 4, but we should be prepared for that conversation. And the night before the draft, at that point, the draft was on a Saturday, and late Friday night, it comes across the ticker that the Houston Texans reach agreement with Mario Williams. And it's like, oh my God, Reggie Bush really may be there for now. He wound up going to the Saints, and we took the Brigashaw Ferguson, and we were very happy with that pick. Point being is, what's so much fun about the draft, guys, is it's the world's biggest poker game. Nobody really knows what the person to their left or right is going to do, and you really need to be prepared. And it's amazing because here we are, you would think Detroit would have incredible certainty in terms of who will be there, but given this year, given that they have a quarterback, given the fact that there aren't great quarterbacks in this year's draft, there's more uncertainty than usual.
We're joined by Mike Tannenbaum, NFL insider for ESPN, as well as former Jets GM. When I was there, speaking of poker hands, you know who has a bad poker face? His name was Eric Burkhart. What's going on with the situation with Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals?
Very disappointing that he took it public. Braylon, he's 30 days into being extension eligible. And you think about guys like Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield, and Baker's not in the same class. But, hey, let's get through free agency. Let's get through the draft. We can deal with your contract over the summer. You've been a really good player. I can't sit here in good conscience and say that he's been a great player. So I'm a little miffed by the timing. And job 1, 2, and 3 is I call him up and say, hey, look, let's have great discourse. Let's have great discussion. We are not doing this in public. You will never speak publicly about this again, because if you do, we are going to take any offer off the table. That's not how we're going to get our business done. There's a time and a place to handle things. We could disagree. It's not going to be on social media.
Burkhart has to be fired. Burkhart has to be fired. I agree or disagree.
Braylon would fire him.
I would fire him now.
I if I was his client, I'd say, look, you're a good person. You're a good agent. That's not happening again. We are going to have great discourse. We're going to have great disagreement. It's not going to be on social media. Nobody wins when that happens.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey, Mike, thanks for coming on the show. Tom Mazawey here. Matt Stafford, obviously, was our number 1 pick years ago. Couldn't win here in Detroit. We're happy for him. He went to the Rams. he's a winner. We get Jared Goff, the number 1 pick of the Rams back in the day. We also have Brad Holmes here, who helped kind of maybe draft that class. Do you think Jared Goff still has tread on the tires? Can he win for this organization?
You know, Maz, here's what I would say about that. I think the verb about the Lions need about the quarterback position is scour. I would keep looking at Goff. I would draft somebody. I may even go sign another younger player, maybe like a Mitch Trubisky, because, you know, we learned this from the great Ron Wolf when he was at Green Bay, which is you just take one a year. Like they had Favre, but they got Hasselbeck and Aaron Brooks and Brunell, and oh, by the way, they wound up getting some guy named Aaron Rodgers. And if you look at like what Seattle did, they signed a number of quarterbacks like Tavares Jackson and Matt Flynn. Then they took a guy in the 3rd round that couldn't start at NC State, transfers to Wisconsin. His name's Russell Wilson. Yeah. But the point I'm making, Maz, is it was about a mindset. That's why they got Russell Wilson. And if I'm the Lions, my mindset is I'm going to add one every year and then let the best player play.
Braylon and I were on the Mike White train earlier this year. That kid threw for 400-plus yards. Yep. They didn't give him really a chance after that. He threw a couple interceptions. They have their quarterback. Can a Mike White – I mean, that would be a cheap guy to come bring here, and I think he's got a lot of talent.
Yeah, he's interesting to me. I mean, I wouldn't if we were trying to, educate our children and feed them based on Mike White's performance.
There it is.
If I could throw into the mix, guys, with others, I would. So, I just think the context is everything. If you told me that Mike White's in a 3-way competition with, Hal from North Carolina and Jared Goff, I'm good with that. But just to sit here and say, hey, he's the guy, not so fast.
Got it.
Hey, Mike, you mentioned Russell Wilson. I want to ask you about him because he seems to be like the logical guy to follow in the Tom Brady goes to Tampa, wins a Super Bowl in 1 year. Matt Stafford goes to L.A., wins a Super Bowl in 1 year. Is Russell Wilson that guy this year that could potentially go somewhere else and win a Super Bowl next year?
Yeah, guys, I'll give you the 2 teams. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think those are 2 teams that have championship defenses. And if you pair him with somebody like Russell Wilson, I think they become instant Super Bowl contenders. So I don't know if he fits every team perfectly, but gosh, I think he fits those 2 teams really, really well.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you also, how do you get rid, if you're Seattle, what's that conversation like when you see teams so desperate for a quarterback to decide to get rid of that quarterback that's in the tail end of the prime of his career, if you will? Like, how do you get rid of that guy?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's remarkable, but right now the Seahawks are the 4th best team in the NFC West. I mean, in the last 4 years, San Fran got to a Super Bowl, got to the championship game, you got the world champion Rams. The Cardinals are a good team and went to the playoffs. So to me, what I would certainly be looking at is, hey, we got to rebuild. If we get 3 first-round picks, if Jared Goff went for 2, let's get 3 and let's start our rebuild.
Hey, I got 2 quick questions before we let you get out of here, Mike T. One is, you talked about the Saints, and we agree. They have that defense. They have that championship defense, but they also have $75 million over cap. How do you bring Russell in, who's a huge cap hit, and get him to work in the $75 million over cap team?
Yeah, Braylon, that's a great question. I think a couple of those guys are going to have to graduate, and to me, I would want to try to hold on to Michael Thomas and Kamara, but maybe an offensive lineman or 2. You may lose a defensive player, but if I can get Russell Wilson, I'm going to make everything else work around it.
There it is. Last question. I mean, this is the guy everybody's been talking about, Aaron Rodgers. What's going on there? I myself am of the mind that he just likes the attention. He likes drama, but he's going to stay in Green Bay. What do you think Green Bay does, or do they even need to bring him back?
I think they do. I think they're a championship with him. I think they're okay without him. And I don't know what Aaron Rodgers wants to do, Braylon, and I think that's what's so interesting. And I'm a little disappointed in Rodgers from a standpoint. There's a lot of his teammates like Preston Smith, Billy Turner, Randall Cobb, who don't have guaranteed money this year, and until his situation's resolved, their situation can't be resolved. So you're saying you're a great teammate. You're saying you care about these guys. Let's go. You didn't have to go away for 10 days and fast and do a lot of those other things. You either want to be here or you don't. Let's go.
Pen chakra or whatever it's called.
What?
I heard you talking about that on air. Basically means he's full of you know what. Go ahead, man.
Hey, Mike, last one for me, man. From the Giants. I grew up in Jersey. Giants, a Jet fan, Lion, obviously. What are the Giants, man? Saquon Barkley, Danny Dimes. Where do they go? I hear they're not going to pick up the 5th-year option on Dan Jones. What's your take on him?
Yeah, I wouldn't either, because let's learn from the mistake the Panthers made with Sam Darnold. They got Sam. It didn't work out. Now they're on the hook for $18 million. If Daniel Jones plays great, they can always franchise him. So, again, very similar verb to the Lions. I would keep Daniel Jones. I'd probably add somebody in the mix. I'd try to add another offensive lineman or two if I could. I like Barkley. I like their young skill players, Evan Ingram, Kadarius Toney. So I like Daniel Jones. He has to play a lot more consistently.
Amen.
The great Mike Tannenbaum. Follow him on Twitter at Real Tannenbaum, ESPN. Watch him there. And, of course, man, oh, man, so great to have you, definitely. Mike, here. Best of luck to your daughter at the University of Michigan. You got 2 U of M grads and a reason why he moved to Michigan from New York, New Jersey, because his love for the University of Michigan.
I just want to say, I would be happy to come back on, but the next time I come back on, I want to be introduced as incoming freshman, father of Ella Tannenbaum. So
you got it, man.
Mike, last question. Is our parking spot still there in Florham Park? Do we still have a parking spot?
I think we've been moved out to the wayside, my friend.
I think it's been gone. Mike, I really appreciate it.
I heard Braylon beat you for that spot.
I can't confirm nor deny that.
I want to incentivize bet.
Mike, thanks so much. We'll watch out ESPN. No, you got a hit coming up. Thanks so much. That was great, man.
No, it's great. It's always great to begin. You get goosebumps sometimes, or goose pimples, as you like to say.
Yep.
You know,
How do you not?
How do you not?
Because when you see former teammates or you see a former GM, you instantly go to those places. You know, we had Damian Woody on here. I instantly went to Chatham, New Jersey. I instantly went to back-to-back AFC. When I saw Tannenbaum is the guy that brought me in to New York. He brought me in. He traded for me. He asked Rex Ryan. He said, "Yo, Rex, man, we need a receiver. What do you think about Braylon Edwards?" And Rex said, "Hey, man, I've been going against him for 4 years because he was with the defensive coordinator for the Ravens." So Rex was like, "Hell yeah, let's get him." They brought me in, and so it's always good, man. It's goosebumps.
What do you think, Mike? What do you think of what Mike said about the Lions?
It's just some great stuff, man.
Keep drafting a quarterback till you get it right.
And isn't that funny that that's something the Lions never did with Matt Stafford?
Yeah. Think about that.
You know?
No.
I mean, Green Bay did it with Brett Favre. They did it with Aaron Rodgers. But the Lions never did it with Matt Stafford.
Nope, because they were clueless in the past.
Right. It take one every year. There's I have to say this about Woodward Sports Network and our show specifically, and what Braylon Edwards does for this show. That is NFL insider stuff that you cannot get anywhere else. Guy's a 2-time general manager in this league that just gave us 15 minutes. I mean, it's incredible stuff. Kudos to you, Braylon, for bringing him on.
Quick answers.
Great quick answers. That's
everything.
Just the kind of stuff you get here at the network, and we're hoping everybody jumps on board with it. We're 10 likes away from 200 today.
Oh, we got that.
Well, I mean, unbelievable.
The cool thing about it, I know we got to get to commercial. The cool thing about it is how often, and this is one thing that I did before we started the show, how often have you watched ESPN or you watch Fox, you watch something, and you want to ask certain questions that are specific or relevant for the Detroit Lions, for the Detroit Pistons, for the Red Wings, for the Tigers, but you can't get those answers, but you want those answers from the guys on those TV. So that's one of my missions on the show is I want to get the guys they want to hear from.
Yeah.
So,
Danny O.
Dan Orlovsky, Mike Tannenbaum, Damian Woody, Jalen Rose tomorrow, Adam Schefter.
Jalen Rose tomorrow, baby.
You know, I mean, come on.
Come on, man.
Come on.
How do you not?
Rob Parker, come on, man.
That's that drip.
That's right. Hey, gang, we're going to take a break. Come right back. We are not done yet. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. On a beautiful Monday as we welcome back the man, Ryan Ermanni.
You are the man. You're the man.
To be the man, you got to beat the man.
Woo!
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down.
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires and hits.
Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy. And the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shots, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans. wins. Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Centron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over. Anything can happen in March.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Centron is an aspirational lifestyle choice of premium beverages. Oh my God, it's so amazing. Every morning I wake up, I take that turmeric and pineapple, and it wakes me right up. It's fresh. The water is pure, essential. And then the energy drink. We can't keep them in the cooler. Every time we put the energy drinks in the cooler, the Centron energy drinks, they disappear. We got to put a mandate on that. But they're also a partner with the Detroit Pistons as well as the Red Wings, exclusively sold at LCA right now, but they are here for all the moments. If you want to make a moment, then you need Centron to be a part of your life. Drink it, live it with Centron.
Hey, gang, I want to let you know that Guardian Alarm, boy, do they get it. Yep, whether you're home or business, a good defense helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, 24/7 local monitoring, convenient features that let you check in on your home or your business, control your lights and temperatures, detect smoke or carbon monoxide. You put that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys, stay out. That's right. Guardian Alarm has been your local security experts for over 90 freaking years. That's right. You heard me. 9 decades of success. If you want to succeed at securing your home or business, all you got to do is call that number. Let me start here. 1-800-STAY OUT!
Stay out of here!
1-800-STAY OUT! Get out of here. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Maz, you're up.
What am I doing?
Chili peppers tanning.
Oh,
chili peppers tanning is great.
I had no idea. Hold on, let me get my chili peppers readout.
Texting.
Phenomenal.
I was looking to see if baseball settled. Sam loves chili peppers. I know that.
Had a good time.
Sam Riddle?
Yeah.
Sam Riddle's with the peppers when they opened on my birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Let me tell you about Chili Peppers Tanning. You'll find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless sanitized rooms, and trained certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club and all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by at least $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. 26 locations and more on the way. Get your butt, naked or whatever, to Chili Peppers Tanning. Get tanned.
Oh, man.
And now it's time for Maz's Videos of the Day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
And you leave for a week and you get your own video intro, Maz?
Isn't that something?
Holy Toledo.
It's awesome, baby. It's wicked awesome.
Look at that.
It's wicked awesome.
Man.
Holy Toledo.
Hey,
awesome. We didn't talk about the Pistons last night. One of their
Come
best,
down here and get naked.
One of the best wins of the night.
Naked.
The Pistons, they love going to Chili Peppers Tanning. I know that for sure. Kelly Olynyk.
I've been waiting for him to get back, man.
With the game winner.
Kelly O.
So now there's 3 in a row since All-Star break, correct?
3 of the 4.
They're 3-1. Okay. This is the first time they beat the Hornets.
15 games.
Oh, man, that was great.
That is one of the worst long streaks that you will find.
Yeah.
How the Charlotte Hornets have beaten the Pistons 15 straight times.
And they
finally stuck it to Michael Jordan.
It's incredible.
They still were the Bobcats. I think the last time the Pistons beat them. That's
funny.
Yeah, I heard what you said. That's tough.
Crazy.
It's the jinx of Michael. It's the jinx of MJ.
Naked.
It's 3 out of 4 games since the All-Star break.
Unbelievable,
Check
man.
that
They're
out.
playing good.
The Pistons are figuring some things out.
And they haven't worn a teal yet. Wait till they break those teals out.
Stay away from that. Don't stay away from that.
Hey, Alex has got a teal.
But see, Alex ain't playing for the Pistons. You said it's hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it also reminds us of when we were trash. Like that teal period.
Terry Mills, Loy Vaught.
Fat Joe Dumars. It was Fat Joe Dumars when he wasn't dunking anymore. He's laying the ball.
Oh, my God.
How about Lindsey Hunter, my man?
I always love Lindsey.
Oh,
love
we
Lindsey.
worked with Lindsey.
Lindsey and Allen were the same draft class.
That's
down in
right.
Houston.
1-2.
That's right.
1-A,
10
actually.
and 11, I think it was.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's keep in that game. Isaiah Livers, one of our guys from the University of Michigan. With his first career points as a Piston.
Jeez.
Alive, though, tapped it outside to Kelly Olynyk. Cade dishes to Killian. Livers is open.
Get it, Livers.
And of course, it was a 3-ball.
Dude, who's the God? Why am I drawing a brain fart on the Golden State Warriors Michigan guy? Jordan Poole. Thank you.
He just got paid.
Hell yes, he got paid.
$80 million for 4.
I mean,
did he really?
He's about to. That's the deal that's on the table.
Now I don't know why, but like Livers reminded me of Jordan Poole at Michigan. Is there any way they could have somewhat of a similar game in the NBA?
Nah, so Jordan Poole is a much better talent in terms of like what you like. When I think $80 million for 4 years, like I think of Jordan Poole. Livers is more like a team guy. Who can knock it down. He's a leader. He'll do the dirty work, the hard work, spot up, be consistent. He's a guy you can trust. But Jordan Poole was fire.
He can create his own shot.
Like, I wish Jordan Poole would have stayed for one more year.
I know.
To be honest, like just selfishly for Michigan, I wish he would stay one more year. But I'm happy that he was able to get drafted to the Warriors and learn under Draymond, under Iguodala, under Clay, and then under Steph. Because you're now seeing it this year.
How about that shot when he hit that shot? Was it against Houston?
No, no, it wasn't Houston. It was. Was it?
Oh, it was Houston.
It was
like
Houston,
the second round or something like that,
God.
right?
What a run they made.
Oh, that was.
What a run that team made.
It was Texas Tech is the team that played in the national champion. That's what it was.
That's it.
Dang.
Hey, Steph Curry. We all go to baseball games and we want to go sit in the outfield for batting practice, get some home run balls. I don't think there's anything better than going to watch Steph Curry pregame.
Saw this.
Look at this guy, the greatest basketball player on the face of the earth.
Not named KD.
Watch this. I mean, doesn't even hit the rim. Look at that.
If you listen on the radio, he's shot from the free throw line, then the 3-point line, then he keeps backing up. Now he's in front of the logo. Now he's going back inside the logo.
And by the way,
he hasn't missed yet.
Not only has he not missed,
further,
he hasn't hit the rim.
No, now he's in the middle of the logo. Now he's going to do the same thing coming back towards the basket and continue to shoot and hit.
Notice, he doesn't hit the rim.
All right.
It's just
the ball boy gets him the ball. He shoots it 1 second, 1 step. Boom, boom, boom. Here's the last one.
Wow.
So,
jump shot, winner.
So this is what I talked about when we were talking about like the work that he's been putting in for years. Like, he's been doing this for years. But can we talk about somebody that he inspired real quick?
Yes.
Can we talk about
Absolutely.
this? You set it up.
Yes.
You set it up
It's
very
your
nice
girl.
for me.
It's your
you
girl.
set it up very nice for
Perfectly.
me. And I'm mad that this woman and her team beat Michigan, who's having the best season. Michigan's women having the best season that they've ever had. But Caitlin Clark from Iowa Hawkeyes is a monster.
It's your girl.
38-11 against Michigan at home at Chrysler, like shooting up the stop. We've always talked about, like, whenever they talk about how can you make the women's game better? Well, if you lower the rims and then they can dunk and blah, blah, blah. No. Steph has shown you how to make the women's game better. Because when I watch Caitlin Clark play, I don't see woman, I don't see man. I see a ball going in from half court. She is fire. Just looking like
crazy.
Unconscious logo.
From the logo.
Like, man, she is a different type of
She's
player.
unconscious.
She's a different type of player, man. Like, you want to know how to get more viewership, you get more women shooting like that. Jesus Christ.
No kidding,
Her and Paige
man.
Beckers, the sophomore point guard from UConn.
Look, the only reason we're talking about women's basketball,
Steph Curry,
is because of this girl who shoots the lights out of the ball just as good, if not better, than Steph Curry.
Steph, and listen, I love Steph. He's the best shooter ever. Steph wasn't doing that at Davidson. He was shooting the ball from the 3-point line, but he wasn't shooting like that.
Let me bring you up to date on a little baseball news. First of all, the talks have broken off right now. At least Manfred has walked out, been back to the owner's suite, and they're still going to try to hammer this deal out tonight. If they don't get a deal done, some spring trading games will be canceled. This is from Justin Turner.
Okay.
Dodgers first baseman, former Met. I don't know why the Mets ever let him go. This is what his tweet says. Hot take. My sources, common sense, and reading in between the lines tell me that one of our game's greatest champions, Derek Jeter, is stepping away from a team with one of the best young pitching staffs in the game because ownership isn't committed to winning and spending the money to try and win. Derek Jeter is a winner. If you ask him to lose, he's going to step away. Thanks for your continued years of leadership and everything you've done for our game, DJ. Just to confirm, I have not spoken to Derek Jeter.
It's a great point. And he's so true.
Absolutely. This is crap.
It's so true.
This is crap. All the billions they're fighting over. You hit it so eloquently. about a half an hour ago.
There you did.
We're paying $5 a gallon for gas. In California, I think it's over $7.
Yeah, and it will be $7 a gallon here unless they open up their oil reserves.
It's unbelievable. And these guys are fighting over billions. Everyone's getting paid. If they can afford to give Carlos Correa $350 million, they got money.
That's a lot of gas money right there.
Yep.
Yep. It's just disgusting what's happening with baseball. Guys, I want to thank everybody. Over 200 likes on
best,
YouTube. Man. We can't thank you guys enough. Incredible day. As we reach our final day of the month of February.
Hey, man, it's been great to have you back.
Great to be back.
Great to have you back. This is the final day in the month of February 28th. Happy birthday to Jeff. But it's also the last day of Black History Month, so I figured we'd go out talking about Muhammad Ali.
Oh.
We talk about the GOAT. Just look at the picture if you can see.
Look at that photo.
This is actually Mazda set up. It's February 25th, 1964. This is when Muhammad Ali shocked the world.
One night in Miami.
Shook up the world. He beat Sonny Liston to take over the heavyweight title. Will beat Sonny Liston again in the rematch. Sonny Liston spits the mouthpiece out. He was just amazing. He's the greatest in terms of he was for the people. He was a man of the people. And they try to say he was unpatriotic because he didn't go fight in the war. And his words were, why would I go across the water to fight when at home they won't fight for me? And a lot of people took it the wrong way, but now years later people are able to appreciate and respect Muhammad Ali, and that means everybody. He's for the people.
Amen.
He was for us. He spoke up for us. So love Muhammad Ali. Rest in peace.
The great Braylon Edwards
threw his gold medal in the river.
Gold in the river, in the Louisville River.
Yeah, he was in Kentucky. I don't know what river that is, but
it's in Louisville. So it's probably Louisville.
He
River.
chucked it.
I love everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Braylon, special guest tomorrow.
Jalen Rose, the one and only Fab Five. Jalen Rose will be here, ESPN. Jacoby and Jalen, or Jalen and Jacoby, excuse me. You'll kill me for that. But excited to have him, man. We could talk about a lot of things.
Tune in early for this one.
A lot of things. He's coming on right at 2 o'clock. So this isn't, get into the show and 2:24, 2:26, 2:36. Nah, he's coming in hot. 2 p.m.
Amen to that. All right. Love everybody. Get us out.
Hey, man, good to have Ryan back. Sam, Alex have been crushing it. They're still crushing Maz. Glad to have you back from New Jersey. Glad you got a chance to go home. I'm Edwards. This is The Bottom Line. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Jalen Rose. And thanks to Mike T.
Woo, woo. Bogard still on the bench. Down to 6 seconds. Walker under 4. Walker fires.